It is that time again. We have late night reveals, and today we have finally the Labyrinth archetype from Tactical Masters. Let's get right into it. And the first thing that we have here is the brand new boss monster, Labyrinth of the Silver Castle. She is a level 8 Dark Fiend effect with 2900 attack and 1900 defense. And she states you can only use a second and third effect per turn. Your opponent cannot activate cards in response to the activation of your normal traps. You can target one normal trap in your graveyard, set it to your field. The set card cannot be activated if you do not control a fiend monster, which she is a fiend monster, so you control it. Then, if a monster leaves the field because of this effect of your normal trap card, you could destroy one card your opponent controls or randomly in their hand. So, overall, it's an interesting boss monster, and I do have to say I really like it because the fact that it is a different type of boss monster. Next up, we have the lovely demon statue of the Silver Castle, and it is a fiend effect with 18 or 2000 attack, 2800 defense, and it's a level 7. So silver sacred sword is 7 stars. You can only use the effect, the first and second effect, once per turn. You can activate a trap card. Or no, when you activate a trap card, you can special summon this card from your hand. So you're running things like Rust, you're running the Shade Brigandine, and you can also run something like a Rusty Bardiche in the deck because they're all dark. When this card is special summoned, you can set one normal trap card from your deck that can only be activated when an attack is declared. Increase this card's attack by 400 times the number of normal traps in your graveyard, and your opponent cannot choose any fiend monster you control other than demon for attacks. So you're setting things like Mirror Force, any type of Mirror Force, Dimensional Prison, just a lot of the generic cards. Then we have my favorite card of the bunch, which is Labyrinth Servant Arena. She is a level 4 Dark Fiend, and you can only use the first and second effect of this card. You can only use one effect between the first and second effect once per turn. When this card is summoned, you can add one Labyrinth card from your deck to your hand, other than another copy of herself, or if a monster leaves the field, by the effect of one of your normal traps, you could draw one card from your deck, and then you can activate the following effect. You can either special summon a fiend monster or set to spell a trap from your hand. This is very nice because you can set up plays for your next turn. Just really depends on what there is. Then we have Labyrinth Chandelier. This is a very good card, or it's a very interesting card. It is a level 3 dark monster, 1500 attack, 0 defense. You can only use the first and second effect once per turn. Quick effect, you can send this card from your hand or field to the graveyard, discard one card, set one Labyrinth spell trap card from your deck or hand to your field. If this card is in the graveyard, when a monster leaves the field because of one of your normal trap cards, you can add this card to your hand. This is a very interesting card for recursion, but we'll see how this works out. I definitely see dangers being played with these, as discarding them definitely gives you advantage. Next we have Labyrinth Stovey. It is a level 2 Dark Fiend, 0 attack, 2000 defense. You can only use the first and second effect per turn. Quick effect, you can send this card from your hand or field to the graveyard, discard one card. Set one Labyrinth spell or trap card from your hand or deck to your field. If this card is in the graveyard, when a monster leaves the field because of one of your normal trap cards, you can special summon this monster, so it pretty much recurs itself instantly, and I definitely see a lot of dangers being played in this, which is very nice. Next up, we have the level 1. And this little guy is the Labyrinth Cucklock, or Cuckoo Clock. It's a level 1 Dark 0/0, so you can use Pyrus Map or 1-for-1. You can use the effect. You can use the first and second effect once per turn. Quick effect, you can discard this card from your hand this turn. If you control a Labyrinth monster, you can activate one normal trap card the turn it was set. If this card is in the graveyard, when an effect of a Labyrinth monster other than Cucklock or a normal trap is activated that requires you to send cards from your hand to the graveyard, you can either add this card to your hand or special summon it. So this kind of cements that this is one of the main pieces of the deck. So Pyrus Map, 1-for-1, you name it, to get it to the graveyard might be very useful. Next we have the field spell. This is Labyrinth, I believe it is. Just looking through all the images that we have, Labyrinth is a field spell, and you could only use the effect once per turn. When you activate a set Welcome Labyrinth normal trap, you could change that effect to the following effect: destroy one card on the field. If you activated a normal trap except the Labyrinth card, you could special summon one fiend monster from your hand or graveyard. So this pretty much cements that you have to run other normal traps like Trap Trick, Calm Pulse, even Crush Card Virus, Eradicator Epidemic Virus, Deck Devastation Virus, and a lot of other trap cards that you can run with this, which is very nice and very useful. Next up, we have the lovely quick play spell of Labyrinth Setting. You can only activate one per turn. Target two of your Labyrinth spell trap cards that are banished or in your graveyard, except Welcome Labyrinth cards. Shuffle them into the deck. Then, if you control a fiend monster, you could set normal traps from your deck to your field with different names except Labyrinth cards up to the numbered shuffle into the deck. So here's your recursion for your spells and traps, and it is very useful. Now, I don't think we've seen Welcome Labyrinth yet, which is, I believe, this next card right here, Welcome Labyrinth. It is a trap card, our first trap card. Yes. You can only use the effect of Welcome Labyrinth once per turn. Special summon one Labyrinth monster from your deck. Also, you can only special summon fiend monsters from your deck and extra deck until the end of the next turn. If a monsters leave the field by the effect of your normal trap while this is in your graveyard, except the turn it was set there, you can set this card to your field. So it's a very useful trap card, I do have to say. Next up, we have Fair Welcome Labyrinth. It is a normal trap. When an attack is declared on a monster while you control a fiend monster, target one card of the field, negate the attack. And if you do, destroy that target. Then you can set one normal trap card from your hand or deck to the field, except a Labyrinth card. So this is also very good. Then we have the Labyrinth Barrage. It is a normal trap card, and when you activate a normal trap except Labyrinth Barrage, this effect becomes that card's effect when that normal trap is activated. Also, any effect damage you inflict towards your opponent becomes 0 until the end of the next turn. So this is just a copy card for all your trap cards in your deck. So you could turn one Compulse into 2, you could turn 2 Trap Tricks into 2, which is very useful. You can even turn many other cards into many other cards. And I have 2 images of Labyrinth Barrage for some reason. We have the final card here being Archfiend Greeting. If you control a fiend monster, target one card on the field, destroy it. Then you can send one fiend monster from your deck to the graveyard. I could definitely see Burning Abyss being splashed in here too with Farfa, because you could just send this. You also have the added bonus of Fiend Grieving. But overall, I hope you guys did enjoy. I want to know your thoughts on this archetype. It is very interesting. I definitely have to test it. I still have to test the other 2 to see how it is. But I hope you guys did enjoy. See you guys in the next video, and goodbye.